Nick, go ahead, you got the mic. And
Oh, I guess, Greg, the obvious question is just what you see that was different? What do you think really, aside from them obviously being a little under the weather, what stands out to you about today?
Well, I thought, in the first half, it took us a little bit to kind of figure out some things defensively, because with Visage not in the starting lineup, it changed a little bit with how they're playing and what we prepared for. So I think once we got a feel for that, I thought defensively, specifically in the second half, we were much better. Took better care of the ball in the second half. And then I felt obviously getting to the free throw line was important, and that's an accumulation effect of us coming in waves and moving the ball and being able to play downhill and play through the post. Like Steve, I thought was really good tonight, really aggressive, really physical. So it's a combination of all those things that so this team does a really good job of kind of adjusting and learning as the game goes on and keeps their foot on the gas, depending on what the opponent's trying to do.
Nick, go ahead, please.
Right, we've talked a lot about Steve's mentality the last month and a half, 2 months, but 20 points, 7, 5, just 1 turnover. How kind of complete of a performance was that from him tonight, and how impactful was it for him going forward?
Yeah, I think you've heard me say a lot that an aggressive Steve makes us better. And I think for him, obviously the playing real physical in the paint, obviously helps when you bang in all your threes and just gets him going and gets his confidence up even more. But I thought he was really a physical presence. I thought he really commanded the ball in the paint. When we did go to him, we ran things through him quite a bit. And then he's just, he was efficient, 7 of 10, obviously. And he's such a willing passer, sometimes too willing. He has 5 assists, but there's probably others out there where it was the next pass or his kick out on post present or a post pressure or a dig or a raid that got us an open shot. So he was aggressive and very effective.
I have a 2-part question, Greg. First, a lot of people are saying, like this team is peaking at the right time. First off, do you agree? And second, do you think that's an overblown concept? Like, is there a right time to peak within a season?
I don't know what's peaking, right? What's peaking? They're like peaking or trying to get to the top. That peak. You want to keep getting better. I think that's the thing. You just want to keep getting better. There's areas that we have to continue to get better at, and that's individually and that's also collectively. So I hope we're not peaking. I hope we're still ascending. So I don't want to hit the peak yet, but we're not because we got to get better. So we're not at the peak.
Go ahead.
You've seen a ton of impressive scores during your time here. What John has done really since the USC game, where's it rank? I mean, he's just on an absolute tear.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he forced a little bit early. Thought he tried to play too fast and create something out of nothing early. And getting to the free throw line, I think, helped settle him down a little bit, where he could, watch some shots go in. And I think, again, much like, the whole team concept, it's an accumulation effect of how we play and the pace we play with and the bench coming in and just continue to come in waves. And then he obviously has the ability, obviously, to shoot threes and really well, and he's a load coming downhill. I mean, he's strong, he goes to contact, and obviously he shoots the line really well. So it's, in terms of how we play and system and guys around him, the floor is usually spread because we got so many shooters out there. He's just taking advantage of his opportunities and doing a really good job of it.
Jim, go ahead.
When you win a big game, I guess you never really know what's going to happen 3 days later. Is that less of a concern though with this team because they're so old and there's a lot of maturity? Or
I was concerned. Yeah, I didn't know how. I thought we would respond well, but man, Saturday was such a physical game. Going through the tape a couple times, and obviously emotional when you play really well on the road and a really hard place to win against a really good team. So I think the maturity, stepped up and stepped in again, because we didn't do anything on Sunday because it was so physical. We walked through some things, talked through them, and sent them to the weight room and do some recovery stuff, and then went more contact stuff yesterday, knowing that we're late February here, approaching late February. things. It's a matter of being fresh and staying healthy, and then the experience comes through, and especially in the timeouts, when you hear them talking about, need to guard this better, guard that better, or good job with X or Y or whatever it is, they communicate really well in the huddles.
Question, go ahead.
You said there's still room to get better offensively. Where do you still see room for improvement?
I think across the lineup, we've been able to get production from a lot of different places. Tonight's Tanjay, Saturday was Tanjay, we've had other nights it's Blackwell. Janicki's given us good boost off the bench on Saturday, McKee's given us good boost, Gilmore's had these moments. So I think just the consistency of finding, continue to I think Winter can still become even more of a scorer as time evolves. If that happens this year, we'll see, but I think there's just a lot of, I see the upside in these guys, I see how we can get better, Blackwell can get better. So that's my job and our job as a staff to keep raising the bar and keep pushing. And when you have a hungry group that's unselfish, they want to keep climbing too. And we haven't done anything. We have to keep pushing forward. And we talked about climbing the mountain early in the year. We're still climbing.
Go ahead.
I thought Nolan was really good tonight. He started the game really well, and then he kind of hit the bench, I think, in that first rotation. How do you, as a coach, figure out when you can play him and Steve together, maybe when you need to stagger them? Is that matchup dependent? Talk about that.
Yeah, it's matchup dependent, especially tonight with them playing, obviously with the Visage not starting, that really kind of changed how we had prepared. And then with all the, if they're putting Davis out there or Richis, I'm not gonna say his name wrong, number 3 out there, and all the slide outs and the pick and pops and stuff like that. Hummerkraus. Did I get it right? Hummerkraus. Any Illinois guys in here?
There you go.
Got it? All right. I can say Yakachonis a lot easier than I can say Hummerkraus. But anyway, it just creates a different dynamic, and then you're trying to keep both those guys fresh, right? Steve and Nolan, so I can roll a big back at the 5 if I need to. So it's a little bit of mix and matches based on lineups.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Yakachonis, him and White really kind of commanded the game in the first matchup tonight. They held him to 7 shots and 9 turnovers. What did you like about how your group attacked them defensively to keep them out of that rhythm?
Yeah, I think, I've said, for the last couple of weeks, I think we've gotten better and we're getting better and we're better than we were in December. I think we're better defensively than what we were in December. And ball pressure has gotten better. We're better at maneuvering and handling screens for the most part. Our bigs are better at when to blitz screens or shock screens and when we need to switch. So I think just the growth of this group and the connectivity, we have great connectivity offensively, but you have to have that defensively too. And this group has continued to develop and grow in a positive way in that end as well.
Go ahead, Michael.
Aggression for Steve has had different definitions, whether it's scoring, looking for a shot, or moving and defending. I guess like when that comes together, like it did tonight, I guess what's the value of that for the team?
Well, I think it gives us another weapon, obviously, and there's gonna be nights where, he's gonna get a lot of attention or get double teamed a lot. I know his numbers haven't been eye popping, but he's helped create other opportunities for teammates, and that's, whether that's post ups and his distributing out of the post, his passing on the perimeter, all those things. And you have a night like tonight, the attention goes to 20 and 7, but he's played well in other nights and maybe didn't score or had 4 points or whatever it is. It's just, he's able to, we play through him a lot, and always have, just because of what his skill set brings. And you get a 7-footer that passes like that, you want to take advantage of his skill and his size, and whether it's on the post or on the perimeter, when he's got it going like he did tonight, just gives us another weapon that opponents have to worry about.
Go ahead, and then we'll give Mark one final
Coach,
question.
a lot of focus has been on John Tanjay offensively, but it seems like he's grown a lot defensively from the beginning of the season. Where have you seen that growth, and really synonymously with the rest of your defenses, right?
Yeah, I think his growth has been a big part of us growing defensively, and I think he, not that he wasn't trying, and he just didn't know early in the year. I think when you come in, you have 1 year, you have to listen a lot like a freshman. He's a little more experienced than a freshman because he's been places, but from a defensive concept standpoint and how we play in our system, so he's gotten better, just one-on-one and keeping the ball in front of him. He did one thing that'll make the highlight tape of running over and trying to steal the ball and fouling in the second half. That was a new one for me from him. I haven't seen that one before, so we have to eradicate that out of his toolbox. But anyway, I think he's understands all concepts better. He's better for the most part at switching screens when he's guarding a slide out guy or having to give up the ball to go back to a stretch four or a hybrid forward. So I think just his understanding of the concepts and commitment to the concepts have grown, and it's helped our team.
Okay. Great, thanks, Coach.
All right,
Appreciate you.
thank you.